has never been a past. It's the heir to the Iron Throne.
Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Good morning, family. How we doing? Yeah, you guys should be able to hear me now. What's good? It's your boy Skag. It is Friday, May 3rd. Let's actually turn this music down a little bit here. And it is NFP and unemployment day. Alright, let's bring the trading view up. Beautiful, beautiful. Hopefully you guys are doing well today. I know it's been a while since I've been live here on YouTube, but going forward we'll have lots of fun stuff right here on YouTube as well as in the new community. But today, family, we are chilling here live on YouTube. I wanted to go over a couple of things with you guys this morning. Again, it is NFP and Unemployment Day. Pretty important day, if you ask me, depending on how the results come out. And I actually think we might get some opportunities to trade here, pending on some of the results. So I will be trading futures. For those of you in the Forex space, again, follow along the best that you can. Obviously, you guys can still take relatively the same trades, a little bit of a different entry point and, price markings, but other than that, everything's pretty good. Are we going to be here till NFP? Yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, we'll be here past NFP, probably. Again, NFP is in half an hour. I'm more interested in the unemployment numbers personally, but they both come out at 8:30. And yeah, we'll be here even a little bit after that, so. All right. So yeah, let's jump into some things, family. Again, it is NFP and Unemployment Day, so let's take a look at the calendar just for some expectations around, what's forecasted for today, how I feel about that. I would love your guys' input too. If you guys are bullish or bearish the dollar, let me know in the chat. I'm sure some of you are looking both ways, so we can have some good, healthy discussions around that stuff. So let's start with some of the overnight news. I see we had unemployment rate come out for the Euro area. Crazy, 6.5%. This is a whole 2.8% higher than we are here in the US. So unemployment rate out of Europe, again, they're coming out as forecasted, also coming out the same as prior. This hasn't really changed. This has been their unemployment rate for some time. Pretty standard out of the Eurozone. Let's see, do we have anything else overnight? Nah, it doesn't seem like it. Okay. Let me see, is there a way for me to... No. Just trying to see if I can make this text any bigger for you guys. Scales, events... Yeah, I don't think I can. Hopefully you guys can see it pretty well, though. Again, coming in 25 minutes, the two events we're looking forward to, non-farm payrolls, NFP, measuring jobs numbers, and then the unemployment rates. Both of these, or actually one of these, NFP itself, is forecasted to come out a little bit lower than prior. Prior being pretty high, obviously. Every time we get these above 300K readings are typically pretty high for NFP. Again, if we take a look at some of the more historic events that we've had here recently, again, we're coming off that 303 reading in April, which was a rise to 275 and then down from 353. Currently, we're forecasted to come out at about 240. The last forecast was 200, and we actually beat it by 100K, which is kind of crazy. So looking at this forecast, again, we're forecasted to come out lower than previous. The thing is here, the labor market has been pretty resilient. And we're looking at like resilient, what we really mean is if you look at like, again, the last, pretty much everything they're showing here, even from September 2023, every NFP that has come out pretty much higher than expectations with the exception of November 2023. Right, if we look at April 2024, which was just last month, again, we came out much higher than forecasted. In March, we came out much higher than forecasted. In February, we came out much higher than forecasted. So again, there is a chance here that potentially we do come out back up near towards this 300K level. I'm going to operate with this assumption just because this is what the data trend has been. So we're going to, again, make some early assumptions that we might clear this 243. We might come out at 270, 280, 300, whatever it may be. Now that's going to give some bullish momentum to the dollar, which is specifically what I would like to see because I am a resident dollar bear. There are a few key metrics I'm looking at to the bearish side on the dollar, and not so specifically the dollar. When I say that, I really mean I'm looking at things like indices, crypto, gold. Those are the main things that I trade. I'm looking at those things going up. There's going to be some people, again, that prefer to trade EU or GU or maybe USD CAD, USD JPY. Those may be a little bit different because, again, you have to weigh the counterparty currency against those. So again, we can already see that the Eurozone has high unemployment. Again, their inflation is in better situations. They have lower interest rates, right? So their currency, unfortunately, even with bad US data, still looks worse than the US dollar. So when I talk about a bearish dollar, understand I'm talking about it from the perspective of crypto, indices, and then hard assets, commodities, things of that nature. So you might get a beat here, right? That would be the expectation. Unemployment is what I'm really watching. Again, it's forecasted to come out 3.8. Prior, it's 3.8. If you look at this from the logical data approach, we should probably expect it to come out around this 3.8. However, you may or may not know, but I would love to see unemployment tick up. I would love to see it. Does it happen this release? I don't believe so. Would be kind of funny because Powell has recently commented on this, and it'd kind of just be funny if it started happening immediately after he spoke. Maybe he knows that already. But unemployment, again, we're gonna stick with the logical direction and just assume that this is gonna come out at 3.8, if not 3.9, if we do see a little bit of an uptick. Oil never really gave an entry. Can you help us on EU? Yeah, we'll take a look at EU, of course. Oil never really gave an entry. Matt, what were you looking at? Looking at bullish, bearish? You should be able to drop a link. If not, I can make you a mod, and then you should be able to. Can I add as moderator right from here? I can. Okay, at the very least, you should be able to drop a link now, Matt, if you want to share your chart. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about why this stuff is important, right? Why is the unemployment rate so important? Well, in order to understand this, we kind of have to go back to Wednesday, right? Mr. Jerome Powell, right? He had a lot to say on Wednesday. He actually threw a wrench in a lot of dollar bulls plans. If we actually take a look at the DXY real quick, we can actually take a look. Pretty much all week since Wednesday, early Wednesday for that matter too, the dollar's has been trending pretty aggressively to the downside. This is all off the back of the tonality that Powell came out with during his press conference there. Obviously, we also see no change to rates. I don't think anybody was really expecting rates to change. Again, it's more about the forward path for the Fed. How many times are they gonna cut this year? Are they gonna cut at all? And with inflation kind of upticking, some people had this weird idea that the Fed was going to potentially increase rates. And there's two things that I want to talk about from the press conference on Wednesday from Powell. Can you save this session video? Yeah, this will automatically be saved right here on YouTube, so don't worry about it. But two things I want to talk about from Wednesday. One, Powell said directly that the next policy meeting, right, more than likely will not be a rate hike. Now, he was only talking about the next policy meeting, right? So dollar bulls, again, if you want to interpret that as, oh, well, you know, maybe if inflation keeps going up, they'll put it back on the table. I think that's a fair argument. But he did put that hammer or put the nail in that coffin immediately, pretty much right out of the gate. I think it was the first question he took where he was asked this, and he was like, yeah, just gonna let you guys know right now, not likely we look to increase rates. And there's a few things I want to talk about in regards to this while we still have 20 minutes here. Increasing rates would do a lot of harm. Again, if it becomes necessary, that is a conversation that I'm sure the Fed will begin to have with itself. However, there's a few things you need to consider. One is there's already banks failing, right? A bank failed as recently as last week, right? I believe it was First Republic Bank or whatever their name was, right? Their Republic First, right? they're already seeing smaller banks on the brink of failing and or in this case straight out failing. Increasing rates doesn't help with that situation at all. In fact, it only puts more of those banks at risk. And when you're putting more banks at risk, that's just not a great thing. So increasing rates, there's a lot of risk with that on the banking side of things. And then two, if you look at our debt is going crazy. We cannot continue to increase our interest payments on debts um, at the country level, right? At the federal level. There's just no way we can continue operating like this. I mean, obviously, I know that we're currently operating with just no debt ceiling, and we're just doing whatever we want to do, and we're just pumping it up to trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars a year at this point. But we can't just keep raising interest rates in that same environment, right? Eventually, we're going to put ourselves in a point where interest on this stuff is just going to be literally impossible. And I think it's already getting to the points. I wish I had some of the graphs that I expect what those payments are going to end up looking like in the long term. But again, like the Fed is aware of this. The Fed understands that I think that they're at the what they consider again the peak rate. Going higher doesn't do anything for anybody. And in fact, there are some cases where higher rates can even bring in, again, even more higher inflation. So there are some cases where cutting rates could absolutely help with the what I deem as like the temporary little inflation spike. Again, I know some people are drawing this out to be a pretty crazy thing. Some people are like, oh, you know, inflation now has two releases back to back where it comes out higher. Again, you're going to have these fluctuations. We just dropped down again into the 3%, the higher 3% range, all the way from 8%, right? So little bounces here and there, especially when they're, you know, potentially due to seasonality and things like that. We have to take it with a grain of salt. Now, if inflation does continue on its path, it can become a worry. I want you guys to write down, and again, this is just my opinion. You know, the Fed has their own metrics, and of course, listening to Powell is going to be key in figuring out what they want there. But for me, I don't believe the Fed will be bringing in any sort of inflation concerns to the point where they would consider changing the rate again unless inflation gets back above 4.5%. If we're below 4.5%, I don't really think they're going to worry. Um, the reason why I'm using 4.5 as a kind of a benchmark is because I do expect them to cut rates at least once this year. Whether they do two or three is, again, to be foreseen. I think they should just stick to one or two. But the reason with the 4.5% inflation is because it starts to get a little bit dangerous as inflation begins to get closer to the actual interest rate, right? We kind of talked about this a couple months ago, back when we were still doing the whole profit society thing. And I talked about like what happens when inflation begins to get to below what your set interest rate is. And I told you guys to expect slows in inflation, right? You're not going to see those giant moves down anymore because again, it becomes harder to sustain or harder to decrease the more that you decrease it, right? Going from 7% to 4% is a lot easier than going from 4.1% to 3.5, even though it's a much smaller movement. It's harder to accomplish that because prices become sticky and you know, things become a little consistent over time. So again, 4.5 is my current benchmark because I'm also factoring in some potential rate cuts there. And I don't think we have anything to worry about as long as inflation holds below that 4.5. Let me see what we have in chat real quick. Wanted to just sweep the low and print something. A fake will be 1 hour. That's what I was thinking. Didn't want to buy in the range. I don't know how to share a chart from TradingView from phone. It should be the same way, no? You should be able to... Hold on, let me, Oh, yeah, no, because you need the link, right? Yeah, I don't think you can do that from... Yeah, I don't think you can do that from mobile. If anybody knows if you could do that from mobile, definitely let me know, because that actually would be useful for me as well. If you could, like, share your chart link. Make a copy. No, I don't see any way to do it. Is that Reap? What's good, Reap? How you doing, bro? Silver. We could take a look at silver. Give me a second. We'll jump to charts in a second here. Cool. So on futures, approximately a 10 pip stop loss is 125 bucks. There's some variables to that, but we can definitely go over that. Mods can share links. Yeah, mods should. Eric, I'm gonna mod you too. Mods can share links. He's just trying to pull a link from TradingView Mobile, which is not I don't think actually possible. Anyway, back on to things that Pavel was talking about. Two, my favorite thing that Pavel said, he was asked about what the path would look like he was asked what the path would look like for policy change, which was covering both the rate increases and rate decreases. But he said that there was two paths, right? Two paths that could warrant them to move up the needle on rate cuts. The first path is the path everybody knows, right? Inflation is moving with commitment towards their goal of 2%, right? So if inflation just keeps moving down, the current trend turns around, we get back down below 3%, the Fed's going to be happy if we're in that 2% range. They may look to cut rates. We all know that. That's the one they've been talking about for a while. Then he mentioned a second path, and his wording on this is kind of funny to me. But he said that if we see an unsuspected weakening in the labor market, that would be a reason to move up the needle. Now, this is odd to me because, again, I don't know why he would use the phrase unsuspecting an unexpected, weakening in the labor market. And this is weird to me because there have been a bunch of layoffs. Google recently just did one with a lot of I think their Python team, which is weird considering they're, doing a lot with AI. Maybe the AI is doing it itself now. I don't know. That's up to Google. But there have been a ton of layoffs, and not like a ton in the sense that like unemployment's gonna like double and go to 6% right away. But there have been a healthy amount, we'll say, of layoffs, especially in the tech sector and a couple other industries since early this year and late last year. Now, the thing with this is a lot of these tech companies do offer things like severance packages, and it takes a little bit of time for them to hit the unemployment statistics. A lot of them also kind of get headhunted and go to other companies, but when a lot of companies are laying off, that becomes less common. My point is that I don't see how they don't see the upcoming uptick in unemployment, right? They're using this word unexpected, right? Which adds a little bit of shock value to the release, right? Unemployment right now is prior 3.8, forecasting 3.8 today. If this comes out at 4% or 4.1%, again, that would be relatively unexpected. Again, personally, I believe this number is going to achieve that probably by late summer, like moving into June, July, August. That's just my timeline for this beginning to move up as we approach, the later summer here. We start to get 6 months past a lot of those layoffs, so severance packages start expiring, right? All these reasons for this to go up. The fact that they're using the word unexpected makes me think that once this ticks above 4.1%, the tonality shift is going to be pretty immediate. And by the time that happens, it's going to be too late in the market, right? If this comes out at 4.1%, the dollar is probably going to just tank. And we're honestly probably not going to be able to do anything today. So I actually kind of hope this does come out like this so we can, again, maybe play into our bias. But the fact that they're talking about unexpected weakening in the labor market is crazy because they know the repercussions of increasing rates. They know that makes companies that are currently already struggling or only are operating at small margin costs. They know that if this is impacting them in a way, especially with wages expecting to increase and all this and people getting replaced through AI, again, that's still in the very early stages till we see like a max exodus from that still a couple years out. But it's crazy to me that they're talking about this being unexpected. Again, now Powell can't just come out and say, hey guys, we know the unemployment rate is going to shoot above 4%, in the coming months, if not like a year. He can't say that. That's just going to throw a bunch of fear in the market. But it's giving me a lot of confidence today that if this NFP number comes out higher than forecasted, unemployment stays at 3.8%, and the dollar does find a nice rally today, I used the wrong tool to draw that, my bad. Let me just close this out. If we do get something like this, that'll give us a pretty good opportunity to, again, potentially go short, fill out some of this stuff, you know, maybe not this, obviously not this week, but maybe into like later next week after things kind of cool down. So that's what I'm kind of looking for today. There's a lot of great charts that are out there that kind of maybe support this. Again, I know somebody asked about gold and silver. I would love to try to get gold one more time below here. Kind of surprised we didn't push below here because a lot of this is fueled from the Fed move, and the Fed move typically does get erased. So what I'm really hoping for on things like gold and silver specifically would be some dollar strength today. Maybe come down in this 2270 area, and then off that 2270 area, depending again what the release looks like. Again, maybe we take a position today, maybe we let the dust settle and come back next week. But as long as the numbers aren't too crazy and things are, within the bounds that we can fade it off, I'll look for a nice move like this. And then again, potentially just monitor that as data moves on. Now, silver I haven't looked at in a while. But yeah, this is like the same story, really. I would like one more attempt below here. This actually swept enough for me the way that I trade typically. Let me just see if there's anything. This would be a valid order block. I still think it gets wiped. Yeah, silver is the same thing. Technically, by some definitions that I have, the way to play this would be like a retest to this, because this is a candle that swept the structure over here, closed down hard, no sell volume, came back up on high buy volume. But again, this is what is this actually? This is, oh wow, this isn't even Wednesday's price action, huh? This is yesterday's price action. Yeah, I'm gonna still look below here. I'm not convinced about that. It has all the technical things, but again, I'd want to see how silver responds under this 25, basically this 26 flat level right here. Again, I don't do too much trading on silver though, to be quite honest with you. I used to. I know there's a few people in chat that really like trading silver. Again, though, I'm not a huge fan of trading it. I used to trade it again on offshore forex brokers. It was a pretty heavy per pip per tick asset, so it wasn't as appealing to trade versus gold, where I can manage my money better. I have not traded it on futures yet. Again, we can take a look at what the risk management would look like on this. However, I just need to figure out. Let's see. Let's just say if we took something like this, it's pretty wide on a 4-hour. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just see what this would look like. So 1 unit on. Yeah, see, this is pretty heavy. I see this. I couldn't trade this on this account. I could maybe trade micro silver. This is a 50K top step account, by the way, so I only have a certain amount of money per day that I could risk. Yeah, see, we could do micros on this. I could do like 2 micros, depending on the setup. Anyway, it's been a while since I've traded silver, guys, honestly, so I probably would prefer not to do that. Again, I would like to see NFP give me an opportunity to get into some markets. I did take a NASDAQ buy last night, which you can see visualized on my chart here. This is the the micro NASDAQ. I did take an Asian session scalp. I was just trying to get into this, go break even, and see if I woke up if we were going to be kind of above this wick. Again, did the same thing. If you guys follow me on Instagram or if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen that I posted that I was very bullish after Powell's statements on Wednesday, and I will continue to be pending what this release looks like. But I told you guys, I think I said it on Instagram, where I said once we wipe the news move, once we push a little bit below that Fed candle, that I would be looking for buys. Yesterday, I actually ended up taking buys on this. I messed up the management though. You can't see it on the chart. It was just a small win. Actually, I think I actually broke even on it because I think I lost because of fees. But I actually ended up going long yesterday after the spike down here, somewhere up here at the 15. I'm sorry, the 17. I think 5. Where was it? It was up in here. Yeah, 17 like 503 as we kind of broke higher. And I'm very bullish off the fact that we're holding down here. I love this. It's a nice move. Again, below the news move on higher volume. Wasn't able to close below. Fantastic volume divergence. Easy buying. So I was really just looking at continuing that momentum yesterday and seeing if I woke up with, price back above this wick, and then I could have just held through the news. Unfortunately, this did come back, break me even. It is what it is. This is 3 contracts on the micro. We're talking about, I was risking maybe like $100. I was maybe up $200 at one point. And, yeah, I maybe made like $8-10 on that trade. So literally nothing. Now this morning, if we do get what I'm looking for, and we do get a little bit of a beat on the forecast for NFP, and we don't see a rise in unemployment, because if we see a rise in unemployment, this is just going to fly. I would love to try to get some buying action below here. The problem is there's really nothing inside of here that I would like to execute off of, so based off the news, we probably will push much more below this if we do move below. I don't think we kind of just take it and go. Again, unless unemployment rises, which we'll find out here in the next 45 seconds. But this is kind of what I'll be watching on release, and we'll see what we get. So we got about 45 seconds here till release. Again, the forecast for NFP is 240 to a previous of 300. We do suspect this comes out somewhere in between. Not even suspect. I prefer it comes out somewhere in between. And I would like unemployment to stay at 3.8, if not maybe 3.9 on this release. Again, this is just me being greedy. I fully believe unemployment will tick up above 4% coming into the summer here. But for the lack of me not having positions today, I would prefer to again get spiked down into the opposite way that I prefer to trade. Let me see. This is not that bad. I understand why a larger account is important. Yes, if you're trading futures, you would typically need a somewhat larger account than you would in Forex. All right, results get 175 to 3.9. Yep, okay. God forbid they give me what I want. God forbid they give me what I want. All right, family. There it is. There it is. A little bit of an uptick in unemployment. Terrible numbers out of NFP. Obviously, again, breaking that data trend, the first time you're getting a actual release of NFP below forecast, again, in pretty much half a year, pretty much since May. But it's not about the non-farm payrolls. It's all about the unemployment rate increasing, 3.9. Now, this is not crazy. We've been at 3.9 before. We're actually at 3.9 back in March. So, again, this is just a signal that is allowing the market to continue, again, off Powell's comments. Powell was very, very much against rate hikes, fueling the data that supports rate cuts. And, again, this is more data that is supporting rate cuts. So once again, all assets are just going to continue higher. Again, will I be able to trade this today? Probably not. My bags are just going to get pumped on things like Bitcoin, the little bit of spot gold and silver that I have, which would be GC here. So no opportunity for us to fade a result. However, the plan continues, man. I will continue to warn you guys that the unemployment rate is going to pop above 4%. And I really want to talk about the 4% level real quick, because who knows what happens if this goes to 4.1%, right? Who knows what all the headlines are going to be. Let's see if anybody knows in chat. Let me see. How can I join your Discord? I do not have a Discord. We have our own platform on an app called Circle, because Discord has a bunch of bots and impersonators on there. But you can go to this link here, and you can hop in and trade with us. Or you can even learn how I trade for as little as 15 bucks, which is pretty fantastic. I don't know how many people offer courses for 15 bucks, but there it is if you want it. Click the plus at the bottom, then you should see a button for sharing chart picture. Really, on mobile? Can you do that? Share chart picture. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, look at that. It's hidden where I didn't think it would be hidden. Who wrote that? Ashari, awesome. Thank you. You are a legend for that, honestly. Because I'd just be screenshotting my app and sharing the screenshot 9 out of 10 times. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin and Ethereum? Bullish, man. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Come on now, Omar. Come on, bro. You already know the deal when it comes to that. There's very, very few times in the cycle you're gonna hear me say that that I'm not an avid supporter of Bitcoin there. Could news push dollar down, then push it back up? I don't think this news will push the dollar back up, to be quite honest with you. Again, this is very much, let me get off the future stuff here. This is what we would have preferred, so I can actually execute to the bearish side today. I don't think this will immediately fade off. There's a couple of things happening here now, right? Obviously, you're taking this old reaccumulation, which is something that's very common. Again, if you know the Wyckoff logic, if you in the community, if you have that type of stuff, if you've ever been exposed to Wyckoff, then you understand that ranges that have no liquidity grab, which is the easy way to phrase this, so a lot of you understand, right? Ranges that don't do something like this, right, where they do a grab below the range before they continue up, more times than not, those get liquidated on. And then if you're going to look at the whole idea of imbalances or inefficiencies, right, if you're looking at something like this, there's a couple of different ways people look at this. Some people will look at like the 50% of this as a potential way to enter the market. I don't subscribe to that logic. I don't see that logic typically work well for me. Again, there's people out there that make great money doing that. I'm not one of those people. My belief is that once you start to push into a candle like this with the inefficiency, there's usually two things that happen. Either one, you either spike right into it, right, with a nice little spike like this, and then you're able to fade off because the inefficiency, again, is going to be something that you're continuing away from. Or once you start digging into the inefficiency like this, more times than not, what happens is you actually end up filling this out, right? So we'll and I meant to grab the brush tool, but more times than not, you're going to end up just filling this out completely. So at this point, with this type of fundamental news release, where you're seeing NFP coming in super weak, you're seeing unemployment rate ticking up to 3.9%, which again, remember what Powell said. Powell said that an unexpected weakening in the labor market is a reason for them to begin to look at cutting rates. That's exactly what you're getting here, right? I mean, unemployment's still below 4%, so it's not going to be a major deciding factor. Again, we have been here in March before, but you're starting to see some of this weakening coming in, and that's exactly why you're getting that bearish dollar. So I don't think there's really any fundamental data that's gonna help you today, or any sort of price action that's gonna help you today to the buy side. Again, would I be looking at taking this to the sell side? Probably not. The same reasons why I didn't sell pre-news. One, I'm not going to gamble on the result, right? I'm already pre-positioned in holding assets that benefit from the dollar falling. But as far as like a trading day goes, again, if you're going to continue to trade, or maybe if you're already in trades, I would not let go of my dollar sell side trades until we fill out this full inefficiency or imbalance or fair value gap, whatever fancy word you may attach to that. Again, I can lower a time frame here. Again, you could say maybe you get like a break and a retest, and then you can continue. Again, these are not things that specifically call to me as an individual in terms of like risk I'm willing to accept versus reward that I'd be possibly getting out of that. This is one of those days where, again, the fundamentals Again, if you guys are new to my stream, you may not understand this, but I'm very much um, bullish the market. When I say the market, I mean things like the Nasdaq. I mean things like gold. I mean things like Bitcoin. Again, things that are paired against Bitcoin back above 60K. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And to give you guys a little bit of more insight about what I was just talking about ranges, right? This is what I mean by when a range does a liquidity grab, right? Same thing that Bitcoin did down here at 40K, right? Moves below the range, right? And then rallies. And that's all we did right here too. People panicking, freaking out for like no reason. Just grabbing liquidity on the range, starting to move back up. The path is clear. 80K in sight. Probably within like I'd probably give it a month. Yeah, this monthly candle probably gonna very, very aggressive to the upside. Very aggressive to the upside. Silver missed entry. Yeah, again, I mean, with the release, you're not gonna get that bullish dollar. I'm in an NQ buy. There's an optimal opportunity for a buy scalp. My TP is Asian high. Well, you've already definitely superseded your targets there. Question for you though: did you actually set a TP at the Asian high, or is that just your target? Because again, I do not advocate for using take profits on accounts that you don't need to be using take profits on. And what I mean by don't need to, I'm specifically referring to people that are trading their own funds, much like I know you are. If you're trading on TradeStation, if you're trading on your own Forex broker, especially if you're in trading in the direction of like the ultimate, like, the macro. And again, like, let's make no mistake, the NASDAQ is bullish. I don't care what you say about this or what structure you thought this broke. That's 11 days of selling action. This thing is up literally 70% since its lows. So this thing is not in any capacity bearish on the macro. So if you're trading in the macro direction, I'm not a believer in take profits. Just because again, you could have just scaled some off as it moved up into your zone, remove the risk on the rest of it, and it costs relatively nothing to hold. I mean, obviously there may be some fees associated with that, but as long as price is moving your direction, those fees are not going to really matter. So again, I don't know if you set like an actual take profit. Me personally, I am not a fan of the take profit. The only reason I would ever use a take profit or a level that automatically takes me out is if I'm trading with a prop firm, which has consistency rules, which means I need to cap my winning days in order to get payouts or something of the sort. Other than that, I think people that trade with take profits are really just limiting their upside. There's one rule to trading you all need to understand, and or your job really, like your job as a trader, um, is to do basically two things, which are just like the same thing, which is to minimize risk and maximize reward. And a stop loss lets you minimize risk. A take profit limits your upside, so it doesn't help you maximize your reward. So I don't like that. So again, if you're doing anything that contradicts one of these two things, you're probably making a money management mistake. Again, probably nothing you're doing on the chart, just a pure money management mistake. Because again, even if you were targeting the Asian high here, which was like really not even that high, I mean, it was like maybe 30 points, like you're missing out on, I mean, probably like 70% of this move just because you chose to use a take profit. So again, and don't confuse this for like not partialing out. I'm still telling you, like, as it moves up, yeah, feel free to scale some off, but if you have the equity to hold some of your position, there's really no reason you shouldn't be. Again, I know people, again, subscribe to this logic that, if I catch everything, then I'll make more money. And what I mean by that is I mean like the people that try to trade like this, the people that try to buy here and they exit here, right? So like they try to do that and then they try to catch another trade here and then they try to exit there, right? And then they try to catch, another trade. And again, like to each their own. If you prefer to do this, right? They'll try to catch like 3 trades here. And for me, I'm like, dude, you could have just scaled off, removed your risk, and then never had to push the button again. Because even if you are, like, I mean, if you can achieve this, obviously there's benefit in doing that, right? Because you get out at the high, you get back into the low, you get out with maximum reward. Again, here you're still buying higher, but maybe you perceive it as something different because maybe you're going more risk because you made money here, right? You can theoretically maximize stuff. But again, you're not in any way, when you're doing that, you're not minimizing your risk, because every new entry is new risk. So like, even if you hit here and you make 1% and then you risk another 0.5% here, what if you mess this up? Right? What if you mess this up? Like you go break even too early. It's like, so now you're just out of the trade, and now you're not getting any sort of reward from it continuing. So I'm not a big fan of like the again, I'm gonna catch an entry every day. So I'm gonna close my trades every day. Now, again, if you're on a prop firm that makes you do that, that's different. Again, like you have to. But I'm speaking to the people that are trading on personal accounts, because I know the person that said this is trading on a personal account. And when you're trading on personal accounts, your job is to do this and only this. To do this and only this. Minimize risk, maximize reward, and understand every new trade is additional risk. So you want to try to milk your trades for as long as possible. And I know there's people in chat that have done this. And again, don't take my word for it. I'll let them speak up for themselves. Because again, it's really not even something you can listen to me say and have it click. Like, you might be like, yeah, bro, that sounds amazing. Like, I would love to trade less and make more. Like, I know, like, you may think that, but until you do it, you really don't understand how beneficial that just is. All right, let me go back and chat real quick. How do you think someone should approach a prop account? Pretty good question. You should approach a prop account very conservatively. I'm a big fan of like buffer trading on those, so I risk pretty small. Again, like you can see, I'm currently on a prop account. Let me actually bring up my Top Step account here. Basically, the way that I think you should approach a prop trading account is small and consistent wins. Really is just the best way to do it. You don't need to go swinging for the moon. So many people are like, oh, I'm gonna get a 100K account and I'm gonna make 20%. And I'm like, why? Like, why? You're just gonna you're playing into the logic that the prop firm wants you to play into. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make 20K in 1 month off my 100K account. It's like, that shouldn't be your goal. If that's your goal, you should change that to like, you know what? I want to make like 20K in maybe like 6 months. That's just so much more obtainable. Prop firms, you want to take it slow. You want to consistently pull money from it. Again, it also depends on the type of prop firm you're trading with. If you're trading with a futures prop firm that has trailing drawdown, then when you're up money, you gotta get into the habit of taking that money. If you don't have a trailing drawdown, then you can be a little bit, more hopeful in your holdings, because the impact of it coming back doesn't affect you. So it really depends on who you're trading with. I will tell you guys, at this point, personally, there's only 2 companies you will ever see me trading with going forward. Right? There's only 2 companies you will ever see me trading with going forward. That's TradeStation, which is a regulated futures broker. And then as far as props go, I will also be supporting Top Step. I will not support any other prop firm outside of Top Step. The risk for me as an individual is just not worth it. These prop firms mostly have shitty rules. They fuck around with people. They're here 1 year, gone the other. Top Step's been around a very long time. Again, they're based right out of Chicago, which is great. They have very simplistic rules, very easy rules. I don't see why most people wouldn't go with them. And they're not even that expensive. It's like $50 for the smallest account, which is what I, again, just started kind of with myself here, this 50K. So those are the only 2 companies you'll ever see me going with. There's no trailing drawdown rule. top step. Most futures prop firms have that trailing drawdown rule. I think that rule is the dumbest shit I've ever experienced in my life. Mostly because it doesn't let me do this. It doesn't let me maximize my reward. A trailing drawdown, all that does is punish people that want to try to maximize their reward. And I refuse to endorse anybody at this point going forward because I know I've done it in the past, or I know I've publicly traded accounts that do have that in the past. But going forward, I cannot support anybody that is limiting traders, like limiting strategies, really. Like, I can't trade on those firms, man. That trailing drawdown is just a stupid rule if you don't have a buffer. So when you ask me about like how you should trade on specific prop firms, man, it really depends on who you're using. But again, you guys will see no other broker or prop firm from me other than TradeStation and TopStep. Actually, on the broker thing, who knows? There might be another broker, but it'll also be regulated. But big fan of TradeStation as of so far. All right, let me see. I'm falling behind on chat here. FX hit TradeStation is lagging. FX hit TradeStation is lagging in the move. Well, yeah, futures are a little bit different. Also, make sure your data. If you guys are trading futures, and I know my data is delayed, so my apologies. But if you come up here to your make sure you're on the futures chart. Click whatever icon is here. Like you can see, my information is updating once every 5 seconds, which is honestly pretty bad. I gotta go pay for like the every tick data. This is just what comes with the TopStep account, so I gotta upgrade this. But make sure yours doesn't say like delayed 5 minutes, delayed 15 minutes, or something like that, because that would be why. It's not that the market hasn't moved. It's just that you're not paying for data, and you may have to actually go in and buy a package through TradingView, or your prop firm did this for you and you just never activated it, which is also an issue. So just double check that right up here. Again, mine's updating every 5 seconds, which I can trade with that, but again, not ideal. Not ideal. Let's see. In terms of risk management, risk management for prop firms, you should be risking. I'm a firm believer that you probably should not be risking more than 0.5% per trade. If you're risking more than 0.5% per trade on a prop firm account, you're definitely trading way too risky, in my opinion. Because if you think about it, the people that are risking 1% when you have 10% max daily loss, that's a string of 10 losses. I know you all think you're so good. I'm never gonna lose 10 in a row. I'm here to tell you, eventually you will, if you have not already. I've done it. Other traders have done it. Anybody who says that it hasn't happened to them is just lying. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen to you every month. It's very rare. I don't think I've went on a loss streak like that in a while, but it has happened. And even then, you got to factor in break evens and all this other stuff. So I don't think anybody risking more than 0.5% on a prop firm account is going to be there for the long term. Again, it doesn't mean they won't get payout. It doesn't mean that they're not good at trading. It just means that I think statistics and probabilities are against you in the long run. Again, if you have a 90% win rate, congratulations, good for you. Give me a 6-month track record. I got some money for you. Again, most people don't have that though. Let's see. I take profit because of my discipline. If it don't, and I try to hold on, then my kids wake me up, messed up my nerves. Will try to get. Yeah, again, I mean, like as you said, like you have kids, you have all these other factors. But again, I will still stress to you, closing everything and closing partially are still the same thing. So, I would encourage you to experiment with partial closes if you can. If you have the equity, if you're trading with enough contracts and you can partial out of trades and hold on to a little bit of the other, especially again when you have the macro on your side. I think you'll definitely see an increase in your trading. It would be hard for you to not see an increase in your trading. Let's see, not gonna lie, left probably a good 10 to 15K on the table using take profit, but I'm on a prop firm. Yeah, again, I mean, Matt, you're one of the people that, again, no though. Again, you're always taking partials and stuff. I know you said you messed up the other day on the Fed release. But again, it is what it is, bro. You're already up that same amount on that account. So I'm not gonna harsh on you too much. So much easier in your mental capacities, facts. Obviously, you got to work to get that level of awareness and discipline. Hoping Gold erases this move along if we do. Wally, you think that's gonna happen, bro? I can't type. Oh, wow, it already has. Okay. What is going on with gold? Gold has not been able to hold anything. DXY has rebounded a little bit. Euro USD. Yeah, gold is honestly acting a little strange. You know, Wally, I would again, I would have to see how the rest of the markets look, bro, but I think I agree. It's possible we get that play I talk about with the wick fill down here. The very, very common pattern that we like to play where price moves down, creates a low, creates another, wick. In this case, we haven't pushed above, but then we come and retest that. And just to kind of draw it out. So it would be nice if like we made a low, did the wick, and then like just filled the wick down here and then took off. Not entirely sure why this isn't holding so strong though, because again a lot of other things are. Let's see what is GC done. This, I don't know what that even was. Oh, I think that was your setup from yesterday, right? Yeah, man, there might be some opportunity here on gold if it is just lagging. I want to see if we can get below here though. I don't really. I would need it to push below. I would need it to do what Nasdaq did on Thursday. I would need to do the same thing. You see how it like again just comes below the news move, right? So this is the Powell move. Again, we moved up. We just moved below it. So that would be my play on gold as well. Is if gold pushes a little bit below here, and then we start to react up, I'd maybe take the trade. But I wouldn't blame people for chasing this just because this is acting a little bit out of tune with the rest of the market. So good awareness. Guess I'm a DXY bear now. Oh, hold on. Somebody get the camera out. Hold on. Where's my phone? I need a screenshot. I need a screenshot of this. Hold on. I need a screenshot of this one. I'm being serious too. I really do need one. Boom. Gotcha. Can't delete it now. We're gonna label this Saint is bearish. I'm gonna save save that one. Save that one for the archive real quick. I'd only continue the narrative though. Bearish dollar. Do you know if the live data is through TradingView or the broker? Again, that's gonna depend on the prop firm. Most prop firms for futures have given me live data. Top Step has apparently given me slightly delayed data, which is odd. Just broke my losing streak yesterday. Let's go, Eric. Back on the come up, bro. Back on the come up, bro. Definitely interesting liquidity grabs on currencies. Yeah, I did notice. I mean, Euro did break some structure. Again, though, I don't see any reason for this to fade off. That's just the thing, man. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, even in the macro, like, this is something we analyzed a long time ago. Like, spring below here at some point. Like, let's extend this out. Again, is this the prettiest of springs? No, not really. But like, we can't argue with the fact that we came back up in the range on higher volume. We're continuing to move up. The bulls are accomplishing stuff. Like I know why you want it to fade off, bro, because you want to continue to trade that direction. But I don't see what brings us back down. I really don't. Let's see. Drop them likes. Yeah, likes on the stream would be appreciated. Again, if you guys are getting value, I'm not gonna come out here begging y'all for stuff. I'm here with y'all either way. But I appreciate you saying that, money man. Shout out to you. You do just scream if we get down there. Gonna be doing some stuff, so I'll be away. I mean, Eric, I'll definitely let the community know, bro. I don't know. Are you? I always forget that Eric's confused, bro. So I don't know if you're actually in the community. I think you are. Um, if not, you definitely have the coupon code to get in there, brother. Or DM me if for some reason I missed you. How about that silver? Again, that silver is gonna stay bullish, man. Again, with that unemployment ticking up, guys. Again, I will warn you guys one final time here. With unemployment ticking up, I cannot stress this enough, guys. With unemployment, if and again, we're at 3.9. This release didn't come out above 4, and that's great because that means the market's going to be a little more optimistic. We can opportunistic, so we can still get pullbacks. We can still get some nice structure. It's not going to just fly without us. But I will tell you guys, once this gets to 4.1%, things are going to change. I'm telling you. I put a tweet out, right, at BuyScag on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that once unemployment, and I said this in the perspective of USD/JPY, so we're just going to continue that, but I said once unemployment gets above 4.1%, USD/JPY is going to be on a path towards 113, which is the same thing as me telling you guys that the DXY is once unemployment gets above 4.1%, the DXY is going to be on a path to the lower 90s. Again, you can call me crazy. You can say whatever you want. You can scream your bullish dollar from the mountaintops. And again, the DXY is not specifically what I care about, but I do believe that if 4.1 unemployment comes in, I don't think the dollar bulls are going to have anything across any currency to save them. But I do believe we go for these lower 90s into these higher 80 areas on the weekly. I mean, look at the weekly action from today. I mean, it's beautiful if we close down like this. Beautiful, beautiful action from up here. I mean, essentially we're falling from like a liquidity pocket. I mean, we couldn't ask for nicer technicals and fundamentals to support it. But what I really need you guys to understand about the unemployment rate, if we take a look at this, I guess we'll look at it this way. It has been a while since we've been above 4%. And the reason why I keep saying that 4.1% is important is because once we go above 4.1%, we now have what we call headline unemployment. And what I mean by headline unemployment is that Bloomberg, CNBC, whoever you get your news from, even me, right? If you're a part of the trading hub, you're gonna get a blog post from me that says that we now have the highest unemployment in 2 years. That's headline news, right? The first time something goes to a new level in X amount of time. Now the thing is, this is really the only headline unemployment data that we're going to have other than it just hitting a new percent. So once it gets above 4.1%, all the headlines are going to say unemployment has hit new 2-year fresh highs or whatever, however they're going to phrase it. And that's going to spur some volatility. It sucks though, because after that, we're never going to get a headline like that again, because as you go further back, you have the stupid COVID spikes. So it's like any headline that says, it's going to have to subtract the COVID data, because obviously we're not going to we better hope that we don't supersede, COVID unemployment. So again, this is what I mean by headline. And by the time this headline comes out, by the time this happens, which again is going to be late summerish. So again, like July, August, maybe, and just like the September reading possibly. I mean, again, this could happen even sooner than that, but my time horizon is July, August. Once we get that, again, it'll already be too late to take advantage of things like Nasdaq. I mean, Nasdaq is probably already debatably too late, but things like Bitcoin, even things like currency and the DXY, by that point it's going to be too late. So yeah, just some things to keep in mind, man. Again, I'm a sell on all pullbacks. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the yen. Because when I put that tweet out, I did specifically mention UJ, and that's because I put levels out there for the dollar index already. But I have to say, and I know we've kind of been through this with the yen, and the yen is in a really interesting space and this and that, but I would be crazy to look at this chart, even from a technical standpoint, right? Because like this beautiful reaction off 160, which is a level I've been waiting on for some time now, since whenever we drew this back in I don't know, whenever price was down here, so early this year, we were looking for a push up into this 160 area so I could go short. And I'm really pissed because when we opened up the week up here, I was literally looking at it up in these candles and I was like, man, I'm like, this looks like a fucking trap all day long with this open. And I really wanted to go short up here and I didn't, which is just annoying because I was going to do it on sway markets and I didn't have money in sway. And, it's just, by the time I looked back later that next morning, I was like, oh, fuck me. I'm like, of course it moved without me. But I will say that there's a few things happening with this. One, the weekly liquidity grab, right? We kept saying like, listen, we're gonna push the extremes of these highs. We've been compressing against these highs for some time, push above these weekly highs. Does that right into like the monthly area we were looking to sell. The reactions are very strong off this. The Bank of Japan has not only intervened once, but now twice into sustaining the yen. We're closer to the Fed pivoting than they've ever been. And I know I've been firm with you guys. I'm telling you guys that when the Federal Reserve, right, when Jerome Powell and crew decides that it is time for them to start cutting rates, is when the Bank of Japan will coincidentally, around the same time, think that it is finally time to start testing increasing rates. And that is going to send UJ on a trajectory down pretty aggressively. So I think that we're really only looking at the start of this UJ move. I would love to see a nice little retest up. Again, this is like a 5% move in a week. It's kind of nutty. So it would be nice if we can get a push up. It would have also been nice if we could actually... Oh, this is the monthly I'm on. Okay, yeah. So I mean, like, even if we look at the weekly here, again, we're getting engulfing candles out of amazing liquidity, both in the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame on higher like this is everything we could possibly want, other than the fact of the PTSD of the yen just being a weak piece of shit for the past couple years. But it really is my belief that if you do get a pullback here in the next week or two, or we kind of test up into here to any degree, that this is going to be potentially prime shorting for down below the 120 levels. Again, I tweeted 113, but I mean, ideally I would want to be crazy enough to even say like below the 100 level, but we're gonna cool the horses before we even mention any of that. We're going to just target below this line, and we'll start to open up that stuff as the fundamentals kind of work themselves. So I do want to warn you guys, again, in the macro, there's a lot of things shaping up. The writing is on the wall. You could believe it, you could not believe it. It's really not my job to make you do one thing or the other. My job is to just purely inform you. But yeah, man, these moves are loading up. Moves are loading up. Skags would have had me busting up in that. Let me see. No, not fading, just profit taking. You talking about taking profit? Can you please help check on EuroCAD and see if taking TP on the first equal highs makes sense or the second one? You got to give me a time frame. Give me a time frame, and I'll be more than happy to do that for you. You have to give me a time frame and an entry point that you're in from, because I have to understand your trade. I can't just tell you. I can't. I mean, you say first and second. You know what the question is, bro? Here, I can answer this in one simple sentence. Your first target on a trade is either a break of structure or a liquidity grab, or liquidity, or liquidity on the time frame you analyzed on. Right? There you go. That's as easy as you can make it for any strategy ever, right? Your first target on a trade is always the break of structure / liquidity and the time frame you analyzed on. So if I was playing this on the 4 hour and I was looking at this as the liquidity I was playing, or even if it was like the 2 hour, because again, most of this is the same, and let's say my entry lives you know, somewhere down here. Again, I'm just going to use theoreticals. I'm not going to use the low. We're going to just say this is our trade setup. My first take profit is going to be on a move above here, right? Because I'm analyzing on this time frame. This is where the liquidity lives. That's my first target. And then you would, again, if you want to hold for the higher time frame target, that's great too. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, my first target on any trade is always the breaker structure or liquidity on the time frame that you analyze on. If you just have a rule, again, you don't even have to use this rule. You could adjust this. You can make this anything you want. But as long as you have a rule like this, a catch-all rule that applies to all your trading setups, then you never have to ask anybody that question ever again. Right? My job is to not tell you guys what price to get out. My job is to educate you guys to a degree that you're smart enough to make decisions by yourself. Right? So I'm not going to give you a price point. I'm going to give you this. And then you should just go back and be like, okay, so based off of that rule, my first target should be here. And that's either going to help you or not help you, but your data will suggest that. But that is how I do things. And that is how I would encourage you guys to do things as well. It will be great having you on YouTube once in a while. I will actually be on YouTube most of the week. The way my stream's going to work in the morning is going to be, maybe some people will find it annoying, maybe it won't, but I will be live both in my community, right, which you guys can do by going to said link here, and you can literally get my whole course for, well, I won't say $15, but I'll say $15, but it's 15 bucks a month, and you'll learn cheaper and better stuff than anywhere else. I stand by that wholeheartedly. Anyway, I will be live in my community, but I will also be live on YouTube. The thing is, though, I might be muted on YouTube while talking in my community. I'll kind of be back and forth between the two. And then I'll be live on YouTube fully after 10 a.m. So the stream will probably go live at probably like 9:15 on YouTube, but I probably won't be fully with you guys until 10 a.m. Now I'll be in and out. I'll say some things. I'll be talking around the open. But generally speaking, I'll be mostly in the community. And then after 10 a.m., we're going to vibe out and I'll review my trading day. I'll show you guys any setups that I took. Kind of just review, vibe out. I'll help you guys with anything you guys need help with. But yeah, that first 45 minutes will kind of be like a... Oh, excuse me, I'm just dying here. It's so hot in this room. But it'll kind of be just like a little bit of a, sneak peek type thing. Let's see, gold instantly running to fill that wick, is it? Yeah, maybe. Again, I'm still gonna wait on this gold. I still gonna see if I can get. I still want to see if I can buy everybody's stop losses below here. Again, I might not get it. That's fine if I don't. I might have to take this end of day. This might be an end of day scalp. But gold is again, it's not holding up as well as everything else. Actually, yeah. Again, like Nasdaq still sitting pretty high. So. RIP to this, by the way. Actually, if I would have left this in, probably would have never got stopped out, honestly. My stop was like this low. That's annoying. Is what it is, though. Yeah, that would have hit my TP of 1200. Let's see. I'm chilling until 11-ish. I would love for dollar to come back above that reaccum, then short it again via buying gold below those lows. Yep, exactly. Wally's already ahead of me. I'm not even. I gotta catch up to the boy. Boy's already saying what I'm saying. But yeah, I agree, Wally. That'd be a beautiful setup. That rule of doing it based on the time frame you traded / executed on is a sleeper for real. Yeah, again, catch-all situations, bro. I don't know why people don't have this stuff in their trading plan. I got in exactly at 46,500. And I was targeting the first equal highs you marked, and the second target is the second equal highs on ECAD. You can always update us on Twitter when going live here on YouTube. I'm ready to promote it on Twitter. It's funny you say that. I've actually thought about not even like streaming here on YouTube and like exclusively streaming on Twitter. I don't know. I've definitely thought about it though. You know, maybe live stream on Twitter, then just upload recaps here. It's really depending on what you guys want, and where it's easier for you guys to watch. I just have a feeling that it's easier for most people to watch on YouTube because you can click on the link without being signed in, and Twitter can kind of be annoying sometimes. Twitter can kind of be annoying. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to find what's oil doing actually. Oh, oil. Baby girl, what you got going on? Some good absorption, maybe? I would have preferred if oil had pushed actually below these lows, especially on that volume. If we would have pushed below here and kind of came back up on that same type of move, I probably would have executed on this. I kind of almost still want to execute on it, but I'm going to give it a few minutes and see, because we still have the 9:30 open. Maybe that traps a few people. Maybe we can get a little bit of a bid down here. But I would be open to a potential oil position where we can maybe go long. Maybe go long from down here. I really don't like these lows that we printed. Yes, I actually traded off these lows yesterday, funny enough. Again, the recap to that trade, this is, you can see kind of some of the analysis from yesterday still. But I would like to see if we can get a little bit lower here. I wouldn't be opposed to taking a trade. Some pretty good absorption here. Although buyer's really not achieving too much. Yet, anyway. And again, I think this could maybe be a decent play. Back up into these 8130 levels. I wouldn't be opposed to taking something on this. Birds, you gotta chill out, man. Yeah, we're gonna watch this setup. This might be a trade that I actually end up taking today. We're gonna try to get a little bit lower though, and we're gonna watch this, talk this. Let me bring the music back real quick. Does X have a delay? Because YouTube 30 seconds behind. Is it really? That should not be that far behind. You had said earlier you have a daily drawdown for yourself. What is your own daily drawdown like, money-wise or percent? I mean, it depends if I'm trading. I mean, I'll be honest, but with my personal funds, I'm a little bit riskier. I wouldn't mind risking between 2 to 5% of my own funds. Typically, when I'm doing that, I'm scaling in, so it's not like I'm dropping a 5% risk on, like, you know, one initial position. Typically, I'll scale into that throughout a range, especially if I'm anticipating some sort of like type 2 that's forming. If I'm managing funds like I am here on this Top Step account, Top Step's pretty cool because Top Step actually has they only have one rule. That's the max loss limit. So I can't, on this account, I can't lose more than $2,000. But my max daily loss limit is 1,000. So they'll cut me off at $1,000 loss, which is fine because you don't lose the account. But even then, I probably wouldn't risk 1,000 on this account on any given day. I'd typically be risking at most, again, about 500 bucks. And 500 is, you know, it's 1%. It is 1% on these. Again, I wouldn't be doing that with one position, and that would be my max risk for the day. So typically I'm not putting that on one position unless I'm only taking one position for the day. For example, yesterday on oil's position, my risk was like $410 or something. So I'm typically like to sit around that like $400 or $500 per trade risk. I'm pretty comfortable with that in terms of like psychology, right? Because like could you risk more in some situations? Yeah, like if you have a 150k account, you know, you could like do the math and be like, okay, well, you know, 1% on this is 1.5k, but it's like you may not have the mental capacity or the emotional control or however you want to phrase it to actually hold a trade with that much risk without it like impacting you to some degree. And I have no emotional impact on trades that are between like $250 and like $700 a risk, because I've been trading with that type of risk for so long now, so I'm very used to that. That's pretty much my sweet spot. But what you should gain from that, again, is what I'm saying. I'm trading within a monetary amount that I know I'm comfortable with. And this is where a lot of people make mistakes. A lot of new traders will immediately go out and buy a 100k prop firm account and think that they can handle seeing the numbers associated with that, when if they were trading their own funds, they would typically only be seeing, you know, maybe, you know, $10, $20, $50, $100 movements. They're now seeing a couple hundred, if not maybe $1,000 price movements. That messes with your mental capacity a lot. Your emotional control becomes a lot more difficult. So again, what you should be risking is the amount of money that you can emotionally control and see yourself losing without any issues. And that's where you should be trading. And I can't answer that for you. I can only tell you what my emotional boundary is. My emotional boundary for this year and what it was for last year or 4 years ago or 7 years ago is very different. It's very different, actually. You know, my risk per trade, you know, max tolerance is like, you know, the size of my accounts that I was trading, you know, 7-8 years ago. So, you know, the perspective is kind of crazy, but that's where you need to come from. You need to ask yourself is like, what is the most amount of money that I'm willing to able to lose? That also, you know, makes sense, because like if you're just like, oh, well, I'm willing to risk the whole account and like that doesn't affect me, one, I'd say you're lying. Two, at that point there's just like you need to come up with some sort of other system then. But everybody has their emotional bounds. Everybody has the amount of money that you know starts to scare them a little bit. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you trade. I say this all the time. You can go ask anybody. Ask any of your favorite traders. Don't even have to be me. I prefer it's not me, right? Go hit up any big trader on YouTube, anybody you see that's making tens of thousands of dollars, and ask them, you know, what their mental battle was getting to that. Like, how long did it take them to get used to managing trades that are down $2,000, $3,000, $4,000? And if they say anything other than a couple weeks to a couple months, again, I would assume that they're lying, because the people that can do that with any amount of money, like you can give them $1 million, you can give them $500 million, you can give them $1 billion, and they just manage it the same with no emotional control. That's like the 0.0001% of people. That's just not like, that just did not happen. So it all comes down to what you can like actually have an emotional grasp on. Doesn't looking for UJ lower. Doesn't looking for UJ lower along with EU higher with Fed's cutting rates contradict the milkshake theory? It doesn't. The milkshake theory, we'll talk about dollar milkshake theory here. The dollar milkshake theory, at its core, if you've never heard of this insane thing, pretty much means that all or most major currencies, with the exception of like maybe those BRICS countries, is that all currencies are kind of getting shaken or stirred up or mixed into the dollar, essentially. So like eventually like the euro will just again fall into a CBDC that is like, you know, more backed by like the dollar, more integrated like a dollar system, right? That like the Swiss franc would disappear, that the yen would like disappear, and like all of these things would kind of get like mixed into one global CBDC, which would be the dollar. That's why it's called the dollar milkshake theory. It's everything kind of coming together, mixing together, getting shaken up, put into one thing. That doesn't necessarily... So, you're both right and wrong. It's hard to really say how it would impact stuff, because think about it. Let's take this for example. Let's just say the Japanese yen disappeared overnight. All right, let's just say like the Japanese yen disappeared overnight, and they were like, you know what, fucking, we're gonna get rid of this Japanese yen, and we're just gonna integrate ourselves into the system of the U.S. dollar. Well, if you remove the yen, right, entirely, then you're also changing the distribution of how the DXY is calculated. Because remember, all the DXY is the dollar versus a basket of currencies, right? It's like 55% euro and then X amount of other stuff. So it's like if you're removing the yen from that, and then now the other things are weighted more. Without sitting there and actually crunching like the actual numbers of like how that would affect the pricing on the DXY, I really couldn't even tell you what that looks like. So those are things to consider. Remember, like the DXY is just a mathematical equation. That's all it is. It's just the strength of the dollar versus other currencies. But if those other currencies don't exist anymore, then it's like, what is the DXY even priced in, right? At that point, are you weighing it against things like Bitcoin? Are you weighing it against things like indices? Or are you factoring in other things that aren't currencies? And if you are, then maybe the dollar again does decrease in value, even though you're getting that dollar milkshake theory. So it's a really hard thing to kind of sit there and be like, oh, well, is the DXY going to go to X? Or you're removing global currencies from that equation. You're changing the equation. So yeah, hard to say. So we have to think of that with a whole different perspective. That $500 a lot, not gonna lie. If you're sweating each trade, you are trading too large. Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to gauge it for sure. Facts, I need to get better control. I didn't control my emotions and blew my 150k live account yesterday. Yeah, man. I mean, Omar, I know we all know what you're doing, bro. But again, you're just a victim of just emotions and psychology. It's got nothing to do with your trading strategy. It's got nothing to do with your executions. It could. You could have been, off your game. You could have just been having a bad 2 weeks. Shit happens. But if you know that it's because you were sizing up too much or you were mismanaging the money, then again, don't try to shift the blame. Most people's problems lie in money management. They don't lie in the charts. The charts are easy as shit. The charts are a 50-50. They're either going to go up or down. There's no other way they can go. They go up or down. 50-50. Flip a coin, pick a direction. If your money management is good, you can literally just do it. You could just push a button, pick a direction. Most people fuck up because of the money management. We'll see what's good with this oil. This oil, again, still sitting here, family. I don't know if we're gonna take this trade. We'll see what she presents us here. Do a quick run through of gold. Yeah, gold. I'm still sitting there. DXY. Yeah. What's our baby girl doing? Bitcoin. Let's go. 61, baby. Oh, I fucking love it. Oh, I love it. Where are my crypto people at, man? Damn, I really can't stress it enough. The next year and a half, if you're not putting money into crypto, especially the next 3 months, the time is ticking. You have 3 months to deploy capital. 6 months, that capital is at risk. If you're still putting money in about a year, make sure you take it out quick. But your time is ticking, man. I'm probably once Bitcoin breaks above this 75, I'm probably done. I'm probably done buying. I'll be real with you. At that point, I'm only going into newer altcoins. I will not. My Bitcoin DCAs will be off. My Ethereum DCAs will be off. I'll only be going into laggers and new projects. Because the opportunity here is going to dwindle as you push above 75 into 80. I forgot we got news at 10 a.m. What do we got? Do we have something else at 10 a.m.? Oh yeah, we have ISM. Okay, yeah, I mean, shit, bro. Give me some bullish dollar ISM so I could actually fucking trade today. It's only been a month trading with 150k profit per account. I'm used to 5 to 50k. Yeah, again, I mean, look at that. You're going 3 times as large as the highest account you've ever traded. Again, it doesn't surprise me that you failed the account. It doesn't. Again, it's a whole different mind game, man. A whole different mind game. I think I kind of found my sweet spot. 500, 600 risk a trade. Yeah, it's a good spot to be, man. I mean, again, like, I love the 500, 600, you know, $700 risk, you know, area. That's definitely my sweet spot too, bro. It's like it's not too much. It's not too little. You know, you hit a 1 to 3, you're still making 4-figure. Like, that's what I like about it. I like the 3-figure risk with the 4-figure reward, right? It's just great. Like, just $300 for a nice 1 to 3, 1,500. Like, ain't nobody complaining about that. It's good. It's always a good day. You're not losing too much, and you know, you're making just enough. If you're a dollar bull, there's one more NFP and unemployment rate prior to the Fed meeting. You are more focused on inflation. Today doesn't show. Yeah, no, today doesn't show unexpected weakness. Because again, we've already been at 3.9. Remember, unexpected weakness will be when we hit 4.1%. Right? Anything below 4% is not like people will respond to it and react to it like the market did today. Because again, it's a sign, and the smart people like me are you know, I don't mean to sound condescending when I say that, but you gotta. I only align myself with what I think the smartest people in the market are, so I kind of talk with a little bit of a from their perspective type stuff. But again, they see the writing on the wall, or at least they're playing into that writing on the wall until the writing changes. But yeah, this isn't an unexpected. I don't think it hits unexpected. I just think it's kind of funny that, you know, Powell said that Wednesday, and immediately we get the first. Like, I think about it, we haven't. Oh, whoops! Again, look at this. We haven't had an NFP that was lower than forecast, again, in like 6 months. So I just think it's funny that the same week that Powell said that is the same release that comes out below forecast. It's like, that's not a coincidence. And if you were listening to Powell speak, you would know that there are no coincidences when they use very specific wording like that. Because he didn't have to put that word in there. They're like, he could have said what he said without using the word unexpected, and his point would have got across just the same. Seems DXY is pulling back. I mean, it really hasn't moved at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, like it really hasn't moved in like an hour. Solana, anyone? Yeah, love Solana. Honestly, how many of you? First, I don't know how many of you guys are on my email list, buyskag.com. But if you are and you got my email about my top meme coin play, let me get a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you bought that, if you're holding that recommendation. I don't think we're gonna put out. I mean, you guys can say what it is if you want to say what it is, but I'm not gonna put it out again because we're already up 100% on it, and at this point, I don't want people to get burned or hurt by buying into it late. Yeah, we're almost officially up 100% since that email went out. About to actually make a new all-time high. Let's fucking go, boy. I'm telling you, easy 20x project. In there, 1, let's go. I only got the 150k was because of a $50 promo. Okay, fair enough. Exactly, bro. Unbeatable RR and feels good on the psychology. Facts. Still think there is a lag on unemployment. Yeah, Mark, I don't know if you were in. Good to see you on here, brother. I'll definitely connect with you later as well. But yeah, there is a lag on unemployment. Again, we're like my target, bro. Bro, is like August, July, August. That's kind of where I think you'll actually see the increase above 4%. It'll probably sit here at 3.9. We might even get a 4% reading. I mean, again, we're only, you know, 0.1% away from that now, so it's very easy for us to uptick into that 4%. I'm holding soon. I might buy some more though. Again, if you know that altcoin pick, if you know that meme coin pick, I tell you this, I was really telling people that you really only want to buy it under 10 cents because at 10 cents you're buying it under 100 mil market cap, and I do see it going to $1 billion market cap, which is a 10x. That being said, it probably doesn't stop at $1 billion market cap, so, but, yeah, I would probably, I mean, as long as it's below 13 cents, I would probably say probably pretty good accumulation. And then I'll update y'all as the market moves. It'll make new ranges, it'll grab new liquidity and stuff like that. As long as oil keeps slowly falling. Yeah, that is a factor. Oh, oil just tanking, huh? Okay. Yeah. We'll see if this produces anything. I don't know if I want to buy this. This looks like something that I probably don't want to trade into today, to be honest with you. Gold, however, doing the thing. So we will shift our focus over to her now that she's taken out the news liquidity. Let me just see what this would be per 5 contracts. 290. Okay, so I could definitely trade 5 depending on the stop. Probably don't need 2. Yeah, oil is dead. The 4-hour chart looks disgusting on that. This might not even be too great either, but again, it's all about how she potentially reacts down here. Again, this is not a trade that we're in. And in fact, the dollar does look to be taking some strength here at the open. What is MQ or NASDAQ doing? Yeah, it looks like people are fighting back here at the open. Dollar index with a little bit of strength here. Yeah, we'll see how, again, we'll see how this stuff reacts. We also have ISM at 10. If ISM sends the dollar up a little bit, I would be willing to, again, potentially take some of these gold positions. But with the way she's acting, I don't think I want to, actually trade around this stuff today. Bitcoin's still running, huh? Bitcoin's running. NQ is holding up pretty well. Yeah, see, it's just, you see what I mean though? It's just these, like if we go to currencies, like you see how shit, actually not, it's really just gold, honestly. It really is just gold, huh? Yeah, silver. Yeah, maybe we should pay more attention to this. Not sure why this is slipping so crazy when everything else is not. We below this? Yeah, we're even below this. Interesting. Interesting action out of gold. It's like literally the only dollar pair running like this right now. Yeah, this is the only dollar pair running like this. That's so funny. Again, the DXY has bounced a little bit, but I think gold is being very aggressive in what she's doing. If she prints a live OB, we're taking it. But only if she prints a live OB. If there's no live OB, we're not even gonna bother with it. Because this is a lot of momentum, and I'm not gonna fight with that. But we get a live OB down here, Wally, and I'm in this, brother. It's gonna take some time to work out though. Just removed my risk in oil. Gonna focus gold for now. Were you short oil? Oh, and the sweep above all this. That's not bad either. Again, that was my yesterday position. Yeah, I want to focus on this gold. I think gold is overreacting here. I gotta say though, this is not something I want to buy into. That and this is just so terribly ugly. Silver is active. Yeah, silver did, I mean, again, I mean, maybe we try. Can I get the goddamn micros? Yeah, silver did do exactly what we were looking for. Again, though, this is so ugly, though. You got the sweep of these highs off the news. Man, it's just not, See, like the thing is, like, why would this sweep these highs to stop internally? That's what's catching me here. It's like, why would you push above these highs? Like, this type of move just doesn't make any sense to me. There's no reason why you would sweep this and keep this intact, I don't think. Again, it could, but I'm hesitating to execute on that because of that. Again, like, same thing with this. Like, why are we sway? Like, I mean, like, this at least pushed lower, right? This is at least in fresh liquidity. So if something forms down here, I could justify taking this. On silver, though, I'm a little skeptical of that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's get better music. This ain't cutting it for me. This ain't cutting it for me, family. We need some techno. I know YouTube's gonna be annoyed about the copyrights, but I do not care today. Boom, boom. Gold and silver are divergence at the moment. You are right. There is a little bit of divergence between the two. I do kind of want to just take this gold position, honestly, and see where we end up on the day. Can I run something like this within my bounds of my risk? A $400 risk would put me at, like, yeah, maybe we can get a little lower. 3, let's see. I don't know if I want to be in before this ISM news, though. That's what's going to concern me. What is the silver, bro? Oh, it's just SIL. Yeah, I think I'm going to just hop in this and see where we end up with ISM. Either that or I might actually just put a limit down here. What is MN? What is everything else? Is everything else still holding strong? Everything else is still holding strong. What's the chance that gold is leading the market? You know what? I'm gonna go super light on this. I'm gonna just do like... I'm gonna just do 2 contracts like this. Below 250 risk, I can add on to this if it comes down. Decent volume off that. There's no way you're gonna get an OB down here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just take a lower risk. I'm gonna just take a smaller contract size. Yeah, we'll see how this progresses with ISM. If it moves down a little bit, maybe I can add to this. If not, we're gonna just be targeting upwards of... See if we can get a break of this. Probably not gonna get much more than that today. If we do get anything. So I should be in with like 260 on risk. $300. Yeah, 300 on risk, 994 for the day. Yeah, it's acceptable. I'll take that. Yeah, so I'm long gold here. Not really that heavy on it. Again, we'll maybe pull $1,000 if not. Worst case scenario, we lose like 300. Maybe I could scale in a little bit more if it starts to look good post ISM. But I do agree that I think this between the silver, the little bit of silver divergence, the absorption here, the swipe of the gold lows, and the fact that everything else is holding up so well, like look, Nasdaq's even pushing higher at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna chill in this gold and see what it gets. If I take the $300 loss, so be it. I think it's worth it. I don't think it's gonna print anything down there. Live OB wise. Yeah, alright, well, all I can do is hold now, or manage the trade, but, yeah, we're gonna chill, see what this gives us. Let me see, this is Top Step, yeah, this is Top Step. Top Step and Trade Station, baby, all I'm using going forward. Pump fake, I like if it does print it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to. What I really wanted, Matt, was I really wanted this second candle to close a little bit bearish, because then we could have probably made a live OB. We probably could still just sit down here and push lower and still form one. In which case, you know, maybe I'll take an extra $100 risk just to potentially recoup the loss. But other than that, I'm going to just sit in this trade and see if the fact that everything else is holding up so well and gold is just a little bit out of its out of alignment with everything else. Or this could be leading the market. Again, that could be another thing. Maybe everything else is lagging behind this, moving into ISM. But again, Nasdaq's still holding up pretty well. I mean, currencies are doing whatever. Kind of concerns me a little bit, but again, if I take the loss, I take the loss. So be it. Yeah, right. So we even like pushed below these. Yeah, I don't mind it. Let's see. Silver is doing amazing. Well, I got in on silver. I mean, it probably hasn't moved too much, for being real. Yeah. These are probably honestly gonna just sit here until ISM probably. Are you going to be live every day with the community? We will be live, yes, in the trading hub. So not at the there's certain levels of the community. There's the $15 community level, which will get you access to the supply and demand course drip fed to you. So best value that you can get for a course. And then if you want a live trade, you join the what's currently shown as the fundamental tier, but will soon be like the trading hub. And yes, we will be live trading inside there on this Top Step account or various other Top Step accounts. Probably 3 days a week. Again, if the markets look like they're going to be slow, if it look like there's no setup, I'm not going to waste everybody's time. I will just cut streams early. But yeah, we will definitely be live trading inside of there. NQ went slightly higher. Yeah, NQ. That's what I'm saying. Either gold is leading the market, and I'm about to take this $300 loss, or the fact that Nasdaq is holding up so well is a sign. Definitely could have got a better press on gold because they're down $70, but it is what it is. Expected to mess around down here. Inside of the fundamentals, yeah. Yep. It's gonna be rebranded to the trading hub. But yeah, the fundamentals tier is what it's currently called, at least on the website, because I haven't updated the website yet. And you also get the supply and demand course at a faster rate, so it unlocks the lessons like literally like 60% faster, if you don't already have access. Alright, gold, shake something up for us, baby girl. Or just stop me out quick so I don't have to sit here and wait. Bro, Bitcoin looks so strong, man. I'm telling you guys that 80K is coming faster than that. Also, some things about this. There was a lot of news, right? So you have MicroStrategy Orange. Strategy Orange. That's new. This allows companies to secure IDs on Bitcoin, which is fucking fantastic. Also, super bullish MicroStrategy because of that. So that's new. What else do we have? We have Block, which is the parent company to Cash App, which is now putting 10% of they're putting 10% of their like crypto profits into Bitcoin, which means like 10% of everything that they make on like people buy, so like people like me that are buying Bitcoin on Cash App, they're taking 10% of the fees from all of that and they're putting that into Bitcoin. So they're taking a page out of MicroStrategy's book. So they will be acquiring Bitcoin consistently. What else do we have going on with this thing? We have Chinese ETFs, which some people think is bearish for some reason. They haven't been doing so hot, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's new. So a lot of good stuff going on with the crypto, man. Again, the people that didn't take advantage under 60K, as my tweets say, you're fucking insane. Sorry, I have no other way of saying that. It's just you're just fucking insane. So again, if there are major companies putting 10% of their crypto profits into Bitcoin and allowing companies to securely build on top of it, I don't know. Put two and two together, but sounds pretty bullish to me. Alright, GC still chilling. Getting a little bit of profit, and a little bit of drawdown, a little bit of profit. That's how things go. I love this one. NQ just hit a weekly level I had marked up, so if it doesn't reject from here, probably just gonna go higher. It's probably just gonna go higher, bro. Unless ISM puts a wrench in everything right now. Oh, and Coinbase crushed. Yeah, you know, absolutely. Coinbase also crushed. I think they came out 1.6 billion in revenue, and out of that 1.6 billion revenue, 1.2 billion was profit. Fucking sheesh, by the way. 1.2 bill profit on 1.6 revenue. I don't know, man. Signs are all there, bro. The signs are all there. But yeah, Coinbase did crush it. We're moving risk at 1-to-1. That's my day. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We got 10 minutes to ISM. Hopefully that doesn't just screw me. It could just screw me. But again, if it does, it does. Also, shout out to y'all that were on here today. Again, first day back on YouTube. Super excited. I mean, we had like 20 people on here. Love and appreciate all y'all. Check community? Yeah, I got you. Ah, boy, sniped a better entry than me on that pullback. Good man, love it. Yeah, you're definitely in a good spot. I mean, honestly, I might even creep up my stop here as we get closer. Especially if this keeps pushing up, I'll probably definitely creep up to like where yours is. Again, I'd rather take a small loss. I could always re-enter the market or find another trade. So, and just so you guys know, like if before news things are still looking good, I could, you know, creep up my stop a little. I might not, again, because I really don't. I'd rather take the loss and end my day, because I don't typically do too much after 10 a.m. But I could theoretically reduce it some. Is this song? I like this song. Let's see what else we got in the community. Let's see. Lucy got a trade. Okay, yeah, she was trading. Okay. Okay, yeah, she hit for a good. Yeah, she still got like a 1 to 4. Okay. Okay, fair enough. What did you run, the absolute low as the stop? Is that what you were doing?
You need to.
Oh, there it is, baby. There it is. Here, I'll give you a little sneak peek of the top meme coin pick. Look at that chart, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Push that high. By the way, when I sent the email out about this, we were somewhere inside of here. So most people should have got in probably somewhere around down here, if not maybe a little late. Maybe they got it right here. Maybe they've been accumulating because they've been listening to me. But yeah, shout out the 10 cent gang on Tuker here. Let's go, baby. I was on the 1 minute engulfing. Okay. Got you. Oh, okay, I see. Actually, let me I mean, maybe ISM does this, maybe it doesn't, but I just want to make sure that how many contracts do I only have 2? I thought I put 3. I should have put 3. So that would be $1,200. What is this then? 940. Okay. Yeah, let's set the TP just in case ISM does something crazy. Let me just make sure that's not over how much I can make. No. Okay, yeah, I'm really light. I should have added more on this. I should have reduced my stop and added more. It's alright though. It's alright though. Alright fam, let's see. We got 5 minutes till news. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything anybody want to add to the conversation? Because we're going to watch this. We'll give it a couple minutes, and then I'll take anything final in chat, but I'm probably going to wrap up my day. Probably by like 10:15, something like that. Just closed half at a 1 to 2 prior to ISM. Let's go, bro. See, look. You see how Wally's just out there managing? I mean, look at the chat, family. Love it. Love to see it. Look, removing risk at 1 to 1. Boom. Risk free at 1 to 2. Boom. Closed half at 1 to 2. Easy day. Easy day. Man made money. That's it. Now he either makes more or he makes less. $236. Yeah, $236 is not bad considering it's been, what, half an hour? Shit, some people work all day for that. Alright, I'm gonna creep this up a little bit. I kind of want to put it below here, but I kind of really don't. So, because the 1 hour concerns me that we might get like a wick fill, even though I just put mine at the tip of the wick, but it's all good. Whatever happens here, happens. out of my control now. I see some people out there promoting Tucker as if it's their call. That's a ballsy thing to do. Let people do what they want to do, though. Yeah, couple minutes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like 15 minutes. 15, 20 minutes, not even. Trust me, ain't nobody complaining about $200 in 15 minutes. The people that do have no concept of money. Alright, let's see, we got 3 minutes here. I really hope ISM doesn't throw a wrench in this. How's Silver doing? It's sitting there, not doing too much. Let's a quick look at NASDAQ. Yeah, still pushing higher. Is what it is. You know what? I think I might just remove risk from this. Yeah, I'm gonna just remove a majority of my risk here. Go break even. If it does break me even, that's just a series of unfortunate events. And I also will be ready to potentially strike right here with the same risk. Oh no, that's not the same risk. Oh, it's because I had it on market, wasn't it? Okay. Take that $300 risk. There we go. Just in case. Alright, 21 seconds here. See if we get the wick fill or if we don't. Let me bring this up. Alright, ISM forecasted 52 to prior, 51.4 reaction to the upside, 49.4. Wow, way under forecast. Okay, let's get rid of this. I don't know if this is gonna hold or not, but we're gonna just, for the sake of some stuff, creep that up a little bit. I just don't want to take the L on fees. Alright, yeah, we'll see if this holds out. Good initial reaction. Take a look at some other stuff while that fluctuates around. NASDAQ turning around now. Take a look at oil. It's not responded, not that I think it probably should have at all. Yeah, we'll see if this holds. I don't think I have too much confidence in this holding all day. It's not, let's see, 49.4, huh, to a forecast of 52. Yeah, this strictly speaking not supposed to be great for the dollar, but doesn't really look like the market is wanting to actually run with it with any sort of strength. So we might actually get taken out here at break even. We might actually get taken out. Chart looks alright if it can sustain above this hour, but I don't know. Feeling kind of iffy about it. I feel like the reaction should have been a little bit stronger. Your NAS sells. I don't know if I agree with that either. Are you just in sells because we pushed above this? Is that the primary reason you're in sells? Again, remember what I talked about with inefficiencies earlier. Either we usually kiss into these and fall, so again, this is not a terrible attempt because you can kiss into it now. Starting to kind of react down, maybe, if that wants to sustain itself. But again, if this continues up and you start to get back above this level, we're probably going to end up filling out all of this. There'd be really no reason for it not to. Gold, again, I think it is not going to hold. I'm probably going to end up getting taken out at break even on this. But you never know. We might get a little lucky on that. Just a sweep of liquidity, real tight stop loss. Fill the monthly wick on gold. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. I just think this reaction is kind of lackluster for coming out like that. I feel like we should have seen more of a reaction. Like, see, like the DXY is just chilling. Honestly, I think what's probably happening more than anything again is just end of week potential profit taking. Again, think about it. If you were short the dollar most of the week, coming into the end of the week, you know, if you wanted to secure some of your money like this is definitely the place to kind of be doing it. Again, whether the entire market ultimately agrees with you and holds that pricing is different. So I think we have a good attempt here. Again, it's costing me nothing to hold this, costing me nothing to see what happens with this. Again, worst case scenario, I make like 10-20 bucks. It's basically nothing. Best case scenario, we get a break of structure and I make like 900 to 1,000 bucks, in which case I'd be about 500 away from passing this top step combine, so that'd be pretty cool. But again, I find it unlikely that this sustains itself. Could I just take the 170 bucks? I could. I don't really care to. Again, it doesn't really do too much for me on the day. I gotta trade this next week anyway, so I might as well just see if it survives, even if the probability that it doesn't is pretty high in my opinion. Didn't fully remove my risk on gold, but I did reduce it. Yeah, I mean, again, up to you on how if you're in this with me, up to you on how you want to manage this. At this point, for me, I just know I'm not going to execute past 10. So there's just no downside to me just letting it break me even. And I wrap up my week where I've wrapped up my week. Which, again, is pretty good. I mean, my Top Step account won't update until later tonight. But this is it right now. Again, you know, high 51,360. Again, my profit target's 3 grand. My best day cannot be greater than 50%, which is why I also cut yesterday at 1,300 because I can't make over 1,500 anyway. On any given day, no matter what, I think I need three days here. So again, pretty good so far. Again, this is not taking today into account by any means, but we will see what we get. Alright, family. Anything else for me? Going once, going twice. If not, you guys know I'm gonna have to just real quickly. Shameless plug. Definitely hop in the community. We'll be trading live in there. We'll also be live here on YouTube. So whether you guys are in the community or here on YouTube as a subscriber, we will be live trading all throughout next week. Monday we'll again go over the fundamentals for the week. We'll trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Fridays are typically reserved for crypto. However, today was NFP and unemployment, which takes precedence over crypto, in my opinion. Because crypto is booming anyway, and everybody with some sense should have bought some below 60. Oh my god, we're at 62. Oh boy. Oh boy. You guys can expect a story from me. You can definitely expect an Instagram story from your boy. Can I get like my actual chart, please? Yeah. Fucking beautiful. Yeah, family, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Listen, love and appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys next week right here on YouTube or in the community. Safe trading for the rest of the day if you're gonna stay active. Thank you guys for joining in. And as always, stay safe, stay logical. It's your boy Skag, and I'm tuning out.